Echoes here, and today we're doing another video of what if Deku was the god of time. I actually got that right this time. Woo! 1 second. Okay, so where we left off, Deku got bullied, and, well, he talked All Might, kind of just said some stuff that kind of got All Might off. And, yeah, whatever. And now, continuing on, we're gonna do, since I've told you before, Deku's been training and things. Deku decides to, he decides that training's the best, and he does train for all those months, kind of like he did with All Might, except, it's not with All Might. And keep in mind, he's a literal god, so he has a lot more power than he would if he had a normal quirk. And still no one believes him that he actually has a quirk. And he couldn't think of any ways to prove it until about a couple days ago in his time. And it's currently about 2 months before the entrance exam. And he thought of a way that if he froze time, walked somewhere, and then stood there, and unfroze time, it would look like he teleported, since he's suddenly at one place and the other. And, yeah. If we continue onward, he's not really going to prove it anymore, since he doesn't need to currently. He's been living like this for a while, except it just comes to mind when he's alone and things. And now, Izuku, he chooses to go, I forgot where it's called, but, yeah, he's been really working on his physical skill ever since he was a kid. That's what makes him so good now. He's gonna be better than, I guess, like, Araka, since she didn't train her entire life. She kind of just floated the robots to get past the entrance exam. Also, I have no idea how Hagakure got in, because she doesn't even have a physical quirk. So who knows? So continuing onward, we have a couple of other things that are gonna happen. Let me think. So Izuku, he now goes to the entrance exam. Feels pretty good about it. He's been studying and training, so yeah, he's pretty prepared for this. And let's just say that Izuku, like, he was ahead of his class. He's really like studying, and he's been trying to be very productive since he wants to be a hero. Thus, he's always been ahead of his class. Thus, his studying was always ahead of his class. And, yeah, whatever. Continuing onward, now that Izuku gets into the entrance exam, he does the first portion, and he's not yelled at by Ida for mumbling, and he also doesn't trip on his way. Thus, he doesn't meet Araka. And continuing. Well, so sorry. I'm recording this in the early morning, kind of. I just got out of class. Well, advisory, but whatever. Anyway, so now what's happening is Izuku, he gets to the training field, and he actually has a strategy. He knows that he's going to have to destroy these robots. He saw them in his prophetic, I can't pronounce the word, sorry if that sounds weird. His dreams where he sees the future. He's gotten a slight hang of that, by the way. Sometimes he can skip forward in the future instead of just watching, like, legit nothing. So he definitely makes good time out of it. And he knew they needed a way to destroy the robots. Thus, he came up with one. Even though he has high physical skill, it would be better if he had a weapon of sorts, but he couldn't bring that along since this is mainly focused on quirks, to my knowledge. Thus, he goes in, and when he's in there, he uses his bare hands. And you know what he did at the, I forgot what it's called, but inside of the sports festival in the original one. Yeah, that's what it's called. Where he got that little metal plate off a robot. Somebody destroyed a robot, and he went over and grabbed a metal plate. And this one, it's a slightly smaller one. More of a very sturdy, knife-like sized one. And using this, he goes over to... what's it called? He goes over to the next robot, and this robot, it is a, let's say, I don't know what the pointers are. Like, I don't know, 5, 10 pointer? Who knows? A pretty good one. And he goes up into a building, and he jumps out of a window onto it, and goes and kind of climbs around it to its control panel, and he basically freezes time for this. He made time go very, very slow, so it's no struggle at all for him to move around on this. His only struggle would be if he lost focus and it went to mayhem or whatever. And once he was at the control panel, he dug into there using the knife-sized thing, and he pried it off and took out all the wires, breaking the robot down. Then he kind of just climbed down off it and walked away a bit, so that way he wouldn't be caught in the crosshairs of it, falling. And he just let it fall from there. Also, I don't know how they really keep track of who killed the robot, but let's just say that they do. And he repeats this for a while, and this works in a very fast motion since he's been doing it in, basically frozen time. And he's a god. Remember, he has a large amount of stamina on this. He doesn't really know why his quirk is so OP. He thinks it's a quirk. It really isn't. And the only reason it really showed up then was because Izuku most of the time forgot his dreams when he was a kid. And, well, he was looking for power, thus his power decided, okay, might as well show ourselves. And continuing forward. What happens now is Izuku, he gets to, let's just say, I don't know what it's called. He gets to the 0 pointer, and when he's at the 0 pointer, he freezes time, and he's only doing this because he heard Araka yell. He had no idea who she was, but he froze time, and it was in the nick of time, and literally just came over, removed the rocks, picked her up, and kind of ran away, then just let her down. He was kind of really tired by now, since he's been repeating a lot of different processes, and he had to move a lot of rubble now. And he knew that the 0 pointer was annoying, thus he kind of just let Araka off a bit away, and then kind of climbed up a building, and repeated the same thing with the control panel again. I know this is kind of rinse and repeat, but it's the best way for him to destroy them. Get it? Oh, and he definitely has enough points to pass now. And he let Araka see that he's the one that saved him, because he unfroze time to put her down. And the only reason why he did this is because in his prophetic dream, he saw that, because he developed the strategy a while ago, and he saw that there were rescue points, thus he decided to use the rescue points to his advantage. He wasn't going to originally do this, even though he's all kind and everything. he just really wanted to get in. Thus, he has been rescuing people all around. Like, some people were having a lot of trouble fighting the robot, thus he would help them and let them have the points for destroying it too. So he has an average amount, he has evens of both his rescue points and his destroyer points. And, yeah. Continuing forward, also Kachin didn't find it fun to pick on Izuku, because Izuku, if Kachin or anybody tried to even touch Izuku, like he would literally just slow them down by so much and then just walk out of the blast radius for it. And he saved a lot, and Izuku saved a lot of kids from this. And the thing is, Kachin just thinks that Deku moves fast. That's all he thinks. All he thinks is that Deku's just been running track, because Deku joined like the track team and things in his old school just because that extracurricular activities were very helpful for him, and he did very well in them. He slowed down time to not a major degree, but a minor degree, just so that way he could keep up with people in it. And that'll be all for today. By the way, Izuku does pass. He got the note. He's already seen it. And All Might does think that Izuku is that kid from a bit ago they saved, that All Might quote unquote saved. But yeah, that's another reason All Might wants to talk to him. That's all for today. Echoes over here, and please like, comment, subscribe. I don't know if you can comment. Adios.